Are you ready? Welcome to the OMAs 2022 Awards Show. This is the 5th anniversary of the OMAs, celebrating music in Durham Region since 2018. Introducing our opening performance from the OMAs 2021 Artist of Band of the Year winner, Lindsay Schoolcraft.
Please give it up for Catherine and Troy. Thank you. You're all too kind. Thank you. So welcome. Guess what we're doing tonight? We're celebrating music in the Durham Region. This is the 5th anniversary of the OMAs, Oshawa Music Awards 2022. I'm pleased to be your host. My name is Lindsay Schoolcraft. You guys are too kind again, thank you. And we're here at the historic Biltmore Theatre in Oshawa, together with our presenters, nominees, recipients, partners, and audience, joining us in person. How cool is that? So thank you for, you could just keep clapping. I'll wait. Thank you so much for being here. So let us begin. Okay, so in opening, it is of paramount importance that we pay homage to the land on which we live, study, and work. We invite you to learn about the Indigenous lands that you call home. As we are gathering here from the Durham Region, the ancestral territory of the Mississaugas, and the area covered by the Williams Treaty, we are grateful for the opportunity to work and learn on the lands of the peoples of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation. Tomorrow is September 30th, it's also a federal statutory holiday called the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. This day provides an opportunity to recognize the colonial legacy of residential schools honoring Indigenous survivors, and is vital to the ongoing reconciliation process. It is a day of quiet reflection or participation in community events. We hope that this acknowledgement sparks a desire to learn more about our shared history, provoke thought, reflection, and change, which is the starting point of creating respectful, reciprocal relationships. We are thankful. Meg Wedge.
Hi, I'm John Henry, Chair of Durham Region. It is truly an honor to be celebrating with all of you today at the 5th Annual Oshawa Music Awards. This show is truly a celebration of the unique talents that drive our vibrant arts and culture scene right here in Durham Region. We're a community more vibrant and diverse than just about any place in Ontario, and this event really highlights our amazing local music and talented individuals who make our music scene so exciting. Whether you're a music creator, in the music business, or a music supporter, you all help to grow the vibrant music scene within our community. I'd like to thank the organizers of the Oshawa Music Awards for all their hard work in bringing this event to life in order to celebrate the local leaders and innovators in this industry. On behalf of Durham Region, I'd like to congratulate all of the nominees and award winners. Your passion and dedication for music brings us all together. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Henry. Now I would like to introduce Mayor Dan Carter, City of Oshawa, for his welcoming speech.
I must have a lot of family members in the room because I've never had that much applause over the last 4 years. So it is great to be back with everybody. I'm so excited about it. And of course, these awards are incredible in our city. You know, it's amazing to be able to see the transformation that's happening in our city, the wonderful things that are happening, the investment, the jobs, the education. But the cultural community is playing such a significant role in our community. Tonight is a celebration to those that have the gifts, the talents, that share them with us. And I'm not one of them because I'm unable to play an instrument, sing a song, dance, or anything else like that. But I am so blessed that we have such rich, great history and individuals in our community that are so talented, that share their craft with us. Tonight I'm joined by Councillor Maren Pietri that is with me representing Ward 4, or Ward 2, my apologies, and Rick Kerr that's also with us today of Ward 2. I want to take this opportunity just to say thank you to everybody that supports our artists here locally. Thank you to the sponsors. Congratulations to those that have been nominated and those that will be winning. But thank you for sharing your craft with us. We are a diverse community that is welcoming over 142 different countries into our community. The way that we can embrace one another and better understand one another is to be able to share our shared experiences through music, through dance, through food, through family, or through faith. So tonight is about all the accomplishments that we have in our community, the gifts, the talents, and the amazing, amazing people that dedicate their lives to a profession of poverty in many circumstances, but we are grateful for their talents. Everybody have a great night tonight. God bless. Welcome home.
Thank you, Mayor Carter. All right, we're gonna actually finally get the party started, okay? I promise. So, for the first two awards of the night, for Emerging Artist or Band of the Year, presented by Spark Center and Songwriter of the Year, please welcome on stage the team from Spark Center, Christina Svana, Marketing Director, and Melissa Novakovsky, Communications and PR Specialist. Please come to the stage.
We're in person at the OMAs, guys. How are we feeling? Right?
It's so nice to see so many people in the audience. Holy, it feels incredible. Hi, my name is Christina Savannah, and I'm the Marketing Director for Spark Center.
And I'm Melissa Nowakowski, and I'm the Communications Specialist for Spark Center.
So first and foremost, we are so proud to support the OMAs for the third year in a row. It's an incredible event, and we want to be able to support the arts and culture section of Durham Region. Awesome. Okay, so what is Spark Center? For those of you who don't know, Spark Center is one of 17 regional innovation centers in Ontario. So we service Durham Region and Northumberland County. We help technology and innovation entrepreneurs with their business idea, or perhaps they already have a business that's up and running and they need support to help it kind of get to the next level. We'll surround them with advisory, specialized programming, access to office space. What else? We do everything.
We do it all. Everything.
Awesome. All right, so we are pleased to announce the OMA's 2022 Emerging Artist or Band of the Year, presented by us. So here are the nominees.
The Best Emerging Artist or Band of the Year Award, sponsored by Spark Center, is presented to an artist or band born and or residing in the Durham region in any genre that released a debut single, EP, or album and actively promoted their music during the eligibility period. The nominees are Anthony Brown,
Cinderella, Cinderella, Cinderella. Say, B girl, I've been looking for a special girl to whom I like to show.
Cameron
Crack the
Tania,
bottle, don't wake them up. Empty water, fill my cup. Another party, same old mistake. Empty.
Dylan Ohm, and Ben Anthony Lavaz.
It isn't over, I'm still here. What about the children? I'm getting older, hopes and dreams, I've been known to kill them. And if you
And the award goes to Dylan Ohm.
Oh my goodness, this is so unexpected. David Neal, could you please come up here? This is my producer, David Neal. Have to bring him up here, please. This award symbolizes a lifetime of compromises. We suffered a tremendous loss in the music industry this year. And I just want to say that this is not taken for granted. I want to thank this man right here, David Neal, who after working a 9-hour shift in his 9 to 5 will call me over and we'll work until 3, 4 in the morning. And that's integrity, that's professionalism. And I owe this to you. I want to thank the OMA committee, Tony, Will, Hal, and company. Thank you for restoring our faith in this industry and humanity for that matter, because we all know as emerging artists, it is a pride-swallowing siege, putting yourselves out there. And thank you so much for the work you do, giving us a platform. Sasha Stoltz, my publicist, and Patrick, thank you so much. And of course, you know, the woman behind all of this, my beautiful girlfriend Taz, who's sitting in the audience. She has been so patient during the last couple of years with this project. I love you, and thank you so much, folks. This is unbelievable. Thank you.
You're not done with us yet. Now I'm pleased to announce the OMA's Songwriter of the Year. Here are the nominees.
The Songwriter of the Year award acknowledges a songwriter or a team of songwriters born and or residing in the Durham region of any genre for a single composition or a body of work. The award recognizes a single song or a maximum of 3 songs that represents the songwriter's body of work. The nominees are Cameron
Crack the
Tania,
bottle, don't wake them up. Empty water, fill my cup. Another party, same old mistake.
Dead Defined,
You rise in your stall, you carry them all. There's nobody else around you who will break and fall.
Hunter Sheridan,
I've watched you grow from behind these eyes. Paris to Rome, watch the time pass by. I wish I could get back.
Great. And the award goes to Cameron Tania.
Wow, thank you. Okay, so I just want to say thank you to everybody who's here, to the OMAs. Like Dylan said, it's been a really hard year for music. And this is my first year releasing. I'm 21. I'm just a little baby. So I really appreciate this award in Oshawa. Thanks to my mom, my dad, and my sister. Charles D. Raimondo, who produced this entire album for me, and my partner Alex for putting up with me for the entire process. So thank you. Have an amazing night.
Congratulations to the winners. And thank you so much, Christina and Melissa from Spark Center. All right, so where are we here? I'm making up my own script. I'm supposed to be following this. I'm not behaving. So anyways, congratulations, guys, seriously, for the OMA's 2022 Emerging Artist or Band of the Year by Spark Center and Songwriter of the Year. Good job. The OMA's Music Industry Leader of the Year and Lifetime Achievement Hall of Fame acknowledges individuals based on their impact through work and inspiration in the Durham music community that helps to strengthen and elevate the music community and music commerce. In the past 2 years, due to the impact of COVID-19, the OMA's 2020 and 2021 were broadcasted live on YouTube. Recipients received their recognition through live stream. We'd like to recognize them again tonight for their outstanding achievements and contributions. Tonight, the OMAs would love to acknowledge the 2020 and 2021 OMAs Music Industry Leaders and Lifetime Achievement Hall of Fame recipients who are here with us at the Biltmore Theatre. If you're here, can you please stand? We'd love to acknowledge you. I know some of you are here. Thank you so much. Everyone, a round of applause. Thank you. Before we go on to our next performance of the night, it is my honor to present to you our first OMA 2022 Lifetime Achievement and Hall of Fame recipient, Greg Keeler.
The Lifetime Achievement and Hall of Fame Award goes to an individual that resides or works in the Durham region, who, over a prolonged period, impacted the music industry and helped to develop and strengthen the Durham region music community. Co-founding member of Blue Rodeo and award-winning singer-songwriter Greg Keeler has resided and recorded in the Durham region for almost 40 years. In fact, many Blue Rodeo albums were recorded and produced at his home, as well as albums by other Durham region musicians and bands such as Cuff the Duke. Known for his years of work and the chart-topping hit Try with Blue Rodeo, Greg Keeler's ascension has taken him from Nova Scotia through Montreal, Toronto, and now the Durham region. Beginning with the band The Hi-Fis circa 1980, Keeler released his first record, but it was with the birth of Blue Rodeo and the second single from their debut album that Keeler's talents gained national and international attention with Try in 1987. Having released his sixth solo album, Share the Love, during the pandemic, Keeler continues to release new songs, play live shows, and produce music.
Hey Greg, your old pal Wayne here, wishing you huge congratulations on this award. I can't think of anyone who deserves it more. Your songs mean the world to me, and I know they mean the world to so many other people, and I consider myself very fortunate that I was able to witness that firsthand when I was touring with Blue Rodeo, and just seeing how your songs resonate with people of all ages, watching them sing along. It's something that I'll cherish forever. I was recently talking with a friend of mine about how you should never meet your heroes, but I have to disagree, because meeting you was just an incredible experience in my life, and I couldn't be happier that our paths crossed, and that I got to work on Cuff the Duke albums with you, hang out with you, and become a friend, and not just a fan. That was, I cherish that. So thank you. And again, congratulations on this award. I'm sorry I can't be there in person, but you know what? I'll see you down the road.
Congratulations on the award, Greg. It's been a pleasure making albums with you since 2011 when you called me to do some audio engineering at your farmhouse. I think the first thing we did was a Cuff the Duke album, and we're now 20 plus albums in together, which is amazing. And for folks that don't know Greg, he elevates the game for everyone around him, and he certainly did for me. And he showed me a whole new way to make albums where the lifestyle informs what gets printed onto these things. Out at his country home, and musicians playing together, eating together, hitting record when the timing's right, It's just a beautiful thing, and I've watched more and more local musicians making it onto these albums. Every new album that gets made from Port Hope, Coburg, Peterborough, and I think a lot of us call Greg when we need advice on music and record making and life, because he's such a good friend to the local musicians. And we all love him dearly, and just want him to keep on making music. And thanks so much for including us, Greg. All right, congratulations.
Hi, Oshawa, and hi, Greg Keeler. Congratulations on this wonderful accolade. You absolutely deserve it, man. I'm actually from Oshawa, and it's really nice to see you get such a wonderful, wonderful kudo. I'm here in the beautiful Union Sound right now working on the new Paul Reddick record. And I just wanted to take the time out to tell you that, hey, I love you, man. It's great to have been surrounded by yourself and your music for a large part of my life now. I met you as a teenager in Port Hope, and then I got to open up for you with 16 Tons, The Beauties, and Melissa Payne, who I love to hear that you collaborate with a lot. You've always been an inspiration, always been a huge fan of Gone, your solo record, and everything that you've done with Blue Rodeo. But you're just a great person too, man, and I'm proud to call you a friend. I hope that everything is going great, and way to go Oshawa Music Awards for celebrating somebody like Greg Keeler, because he deserves it. Take care, man. Hope you're well.
Hi there, it's Ron Sexsmith here in Stratford. I just want to congratulate Greg Keeler on this Lifetime Achievement Award. Very well deserved. I've known Greg quite a long time, actually, and I'm very proud to call him my friend. I've done many shows with Blue Rodeo over the years, and I have always admired their songwriting ability, and some of my favorite songs actually were Greg's. You know, I think Rose-Colored Glasses is up there for sure. Love and Understanding. But their music, and specifically Greg's music, has had a huge influence on the whole landscape, the whole Canadian music landscape, and here in Ontario. So congratulations, Greg, and hope you'll come to visit me here at Chateau Mermaid someday. All right, take care.
The OMAs 2022 Lifetime Achievement and Hall of Fame recipient, presented by Apex Sound and Light, is Greg Keeler.
Congratulations to Greg Keeler. Unfortunately, Greg could not be here with us tonight and sends his thanks.
Good evening, friends and neighbors. Greg Keeler here, and I'm very appreciative and humbled to be given this award, this distinction, marking the achievements of my life. And I've been living in Clarington now for about 35 years. I've got a nice little farm over in the east side of Clarington, and it has been my home and my inspiration. And when I moved out here, there was just an explosion of songs that came from being in this beautiful little valley that I live in. And it was just this old farmhouse, I think it goes back to 1863, turned out to be a fantastic recording studio. So Blue Rodeo made about 4 records here, and about 20 other records have been made here. So it's been a productive corner here in Clarington, and thank you very, very much for this award. Good night, and have a great time.
We will deliver the award to Greg and wish him great health and success with all his future endeavors. Right now, we turn your attention to our performance stage and give a big round of applause for this talented Canadian folk singer-songwriter from Uxbridge, OMA 2021 winner of Songwriter of the Year, and OMA 2022 nominee for Album of the Year, I Will Stand, the one and only Tania Joy. Honestly, what a performance and what a voice. It was magical. Okay, so onward. Being a songwriter and artist myself, I know there were a lot of challenges with the process of producing music during the nationwide lockdown. Trust me, I know. Have you ever tracked vocals in a bathtub? Because I've seen it all. We really tried to make it work. I would like to take a moment to show appreciation to all the artists, bands, musicians, producers, engineers, studio personnel, music venue owners, and everyone for staying strong and resilient over the past 2 years. Thank you so much for continuing to produce great music under these circumstances and for remaining loyal to your fans and listeners through these difficult times. A round of applause to you guys. Here at the OMAs, it is our mission to acknowledge your achievements and contributions in the way that you deserve. So next is our special presentation of the OMA's 2022 Music Industry Leader of the Year Award presented by Trent University Durham GTA. Please welcome Dr. Scott Henderson, Dean and Head of Trent University Durham GTA, and Tania Huck.
People, and hi up there. Thank you, man. the city and region absolutely rock. And in my head, I'm spelling it R-A-W-K, just so you know. But hi, I am Scott Henderson. I'm Dean and Head at Trent University Durham GTA, and we're very pleased to be sponsoring this year's Music Industry Leader Award here at the OMAs. Yeah. Now for me, I think there's a lot of similarity between our work at Trent University, Durham, and the nature of the local music scene. I think in both cases, much of our focus is on that relationship between the global and the local. Right? Music scenes and universities, we're constantly interacting with global trends, ideas, and cultures. Right? The local, that's the place where we engage. Whether it's shopping at a local record shop, attending a local show, dancing to international hits at a local bar, or perhaps forming a band, as so many of you have done. So much happens at that grassroots level. Similarly, the university brings students from and into our local community and into contact with a world of ideas, both in the classroom, in their readings, and through research. They both also work to give back to the local. Right? In music, it is the artists, the entrepreneurs, the promoters, the producers, the sound engineers, and others who bring culture to our cities, towns, and rural regions. In university, it's our students through internships or placement, and our alumni, right, through the jobs that they undertake or the businesses that they create who are able to contribute to our community. And both realms, I think, also welcome the international, whether it's touring acts who may come here somewhere like the Biltmore or international students. In both cases, all of this contributes to what is a thriving, successful cultural community that we're all here tonight to celebrate. Now, I know that tonight's winner of the Music Industry Leader of the Year exemplifies this notion of taking a local education and mentorship and enjoying success and influence at national and international levels, while still contributing actively to our local scene. And to tell us more and to introduce our recipient is Tania Hook.
Hello, my name is Tania Hook, and I am a retired teacher. I also want to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Mississauga of Scugog Island First Nation. It has been my absolute delight to have known Hills since she was 11 years old. First as her piano teacher and music teacher, and later as her elderly and proud friend. Hill's lengthy and impressive list of accomplishments and awards speaks tangibly of talent and creativity, of initiative and hard work. She has achieved remarkable success in all aspects of the music industry. Also, and I think more importantly, and of equal celebration, Hill's every encounter with this world speaks eloquently of her spirit, a spirit that abounds in humility, empathy, generosity, and respect, a spirit that inspires and lifts up, the spirit of a true leader.
The Music Industry Leader Award goes to an individual who reside or work in the Durham region. The individual is recognized for their impact through work and inspiration that helps to strengthen and elevate the Durham music community and music commerce.
Hello, OMAs. Serena Ryder here. Hill and I met on her 14th birthday in Toronto, and I remember it so clearly, walking in to this venue, and she was on stage performing. This 14-year-old who also in so many ways seemed like they were 100 years old. And she just blew me away from the very beginning. Her talent, her energy, her compassion for other human beings and what's going on in the world.
Then in 2015, she was the band leader and music director for a tribute night for Martha and the Muffins at the Rivoli in Toronto, and she did everything. This is where all her skills came to the fore. I mean, she arranged the whole band, she arranged the evening,
all the performers, one person after another.
Yep, she wrangled them all into this fantastic evening, and we'll never forget that.
We were lucky to kind of have our paths cross again. I want to say maybe 8 years ago when I signed my record deal. She played at the showcase that I played right before I signed my record deal, which was such a huge deal for me. So it was very full circle that we got to do that together. And I can honestly say that Hill had an absolutely massive impact on me as an artist and a musician and as a writer and just as a friend.
The experience of working with Hill was, because I was so fortunate to have her as a friend, as a sister, I felt so supported, so calm. Even in my freakouts, she was really there. She was really there for me to grow and blossom and find my voice and really just be there for me in whatever way. I really appreciate that, because as an artist, that's what you need. You need someone in your corner. You need someone to hear you and hear you as the artist, and not like erase you to put their own stamp on it, but to actually enhance you and let the world hear you as you are. That's what Hill does.
I'm so impressed by how you're able to just do it all. Musician, engineer, producer, all the while being able to connect on a very deep level with the people you collaborate with. I think it takes a special person to be able to achieve that, and this is you. It's all you. The amazing work you've been doing.
Hill and I met for the first time during a songwriting workshop. And the first thing that caught my eye was her dedication to building a relationship with the people that she works with. She likes to call it speed dating, and I felt like that really resonated with me, just the importance of the connection. I mean, when you meet Hill, you feel it right away, and certainly our relationship has grown since then. We took on something huge, putting together an album during the pandemic, a seismic shift in the landscape of the music industry
One of my biggest sources of pride in my career was being at the Junos this year when Hill won the Juno for Engineer of the Year, the first time a woman had ever been nominated, let alone won. And the joy and relief I felt in my body was incredible, because I have seen Hill go from somebody who is a solo artist, who is a video director, who has learned every single trick and trade in this industry and mastered it. And now she's really settled in a place where she is just surpassed anybody's and everybody's expectations. And I expect her to continue to do that for the rest of her life.
Oshawa Music Awards. Good choice. Great choice. Hill, Industry Leader of the Year. I wouldn't have picked anyone better than this. Congratulations.
Adding this award to your shelf, I guess, Hill. Congratulations again, and have a great time. And we love you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Bye now.
Bye.
Hill, I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. You absolutely deserve this.
So proud of you. Sending you all my love and hope to see you soon. Congrats.
Hill, I am sending you the most love, the biggest congratulations on this well-deserved acknowledgement as Music Industry Leader of the Year. You are a true talent and a wonderful human, and I'm just delighted to be a part of your world. Congratulations.
You are a true groundbreaker, trailblazer, an incredible dog mom, and we are very proud to be able to be a part of your career so far, and even more proud to be able to call you a friend.
Couldn't have done it without you, Hill. Congratulations. You deserve this.
Toast to you and Abby and Wiley. We'll see you soon at home.
Well, congratulations, Hill. I love you. I adore you. And I can't wait to see you. And I hope everybody has an amazing evening.
And I'm so excited for all of you that you get to be in her presence, the magical Hill Corcutis.
The OMAs 2022 Music Industry Leader of the Year, presented by Trent University, Durham GTA, is Hill Corcutis.
I am so very proud to present the OMA Music Industry Leader of the Year, Hill Corcutis. Congratulations, Hill.
Thank you. So thank you so much to the OMAs. I really, truly appreciate this. I grew up in the hamlet of Greenwood, just north of Ajax. I'm a proud former resident of Durham. But Durham has been such an integral part of my career and my growth. And Tania was actually sharing this story with me tonight. She reminded me that I had showed up to my piano lesson and I hadn't practiced, which was a regular occurrence for me. I really sucked at practicing. And she had made me make a list of every single person that had been involved in me playing music at that point. And then she also asked me to disclose what my job was. But what was really profound about that moment is realizing how the immense importance of having community. And I sure as hell would not be where I am today without my community here. My wonderful team, my manager and my publisher, my family, Abby, my parents, my aunt who came tonight, who used to pick me up from school and drive me to my music lessons. And biggest shocker of the night, my teachers from Trafalgar Castle School are here tonight, which it means the world to me because they pushed me and encouraged me to follow my dreams. And I had so many mentors and this amazing community here that really helped me grow. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Up next is the award for Durham Song of the Year, presented by Durham Tourism and the Album of the Year. Please welcome to the stage Simon Gill, Economic Development and Tourism Director at Invest Durham, and Brandon Pickard, Tourism Manager at Durham Tourism.
Thanks, everyone. I'm Simon. It is amazing to be here. The energy in this room is just really awesome. So, as I said, I'm Simon. I work with Durham Region Economic Development. We work to promote the region for new investment, and we help great, innovative companies establish a presence here and create amazing jobs for our residents in Durham Region. And Durham Region has been a presenting sponsor of the OMAs for a few years now, and we're going to continue to be a presenting sponsor for the OMAs because not only is the organizing team for tonight just incredible, I mean, am I right? But also having an amazing, diverse, and incredible music and arts community is actually really important for a growing economy. So we're here and very supportive of the OMAs, and I'm incredibly happy to be presenting the award for Song of the Year. And the nominees are
Durham Song of the Year, sponsored by the Region of Durham, is presented to a songwriter or a team of songwriters who are born and or reside in the Durham region for a current and or original composition of any genre that acknowledges part or all of the Durham region. This award is based on an individual original song. The nominees are Cameron Tania, Helium.
So heal me, helium, take me.
Gal George Gjurin,
Tiny specks
Shine.
of rain, like bubbles in fat champagne, sweetness of our street.
And the award goes to Shine by Gal George Gjurin. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I've come a long, long way to get this. I just returned from Europe. I've been away for 5 months touring, so it's been a very tough couple of years for us, as you all know. So, long live Durham. Thank you.
Congratulations. Hi everyone, I'm Brandon from Durham Tourism, and tonight we're honored to celebrate the music industry in Durham Region. Durham Tourism is proud to support the Durham Region sound, from festivals such as Springtide Music Festival in Uxbridge, Troubadour Concert Series right here at the Biltmore Theatre, Winding Roads in Scugog, and the many stages and venues like Cork and Bean, local craft breweries, and a number of amazing stages across Durham Region. Tonight, this next award category, we celebrate the work that goes on behind the scenes. Let's take a look at the 2022 OMAs nominee for Album of the Year.
The Album of the Year is awarded to a recording artist or band born and or residing in the Durham region in any genre for an album with a minimum of 6 tracks. An album is defined as a collection of individual recordings made available as a single item. And the nominees are Tania Joy, I Will Stand.
You criticize me because I have a different voice. I choose to live free, and you disagree with that choice.
Valdi, The Mirror.
Don't like what I become lately. I hate me, can't hide. Lord, give me strength.
Wayne Matter, Unconditional.
You don't have to say you love me just because we kissed. You don't have to
And the award goes to Unconditional by Wayne Matter.
Wow. Woo! Love it, love it. Usually the only time I'm in front of a mic is if I sing, so I'll sing you a song, okay? Oh, this is great. This is great. So many people to thank. And this album was recorded during the pandemic. First song was released 2020. Was recorded, engineered and mixed by Kevin Kerr of Epidemic Music Group in Stouffville. And he's just a great engineer, and he did a great job on the mix. Yeah, these songs just come from the heart, and you know, some songs take a while to get it together. Other songs come really quick. And I'm just so glad that I could get the tracks down and get this music out to people, and I hope that you get to listen to the album. I'm, as a result of being nominated, actually, you know, I've started to work on 13 more songs, and I'm hoping to release them next year. So I hope you get a chance to listen to music, and, you know, this is a great reward, and you can't, you know, downplay anything about receiving something like this, but the greatest reward was being nominated and getting to meet so many wonderful musicians and so many wonderful people associated with the OMAs. I was able to meet the band Wednesday that's being nominated for Lifetime Achievement Award. I was able to play their song Last Kiss as a tribute to them at Cops Records in Oshawa. And just, yeah, let's give it up to all the nominees. Valdi, if you listen to his music, Tania, they're just great musicians, and thanks a lot. This is awesome. Have a party.
All right, so how are you guys doing so far? Congratulations again to the winners. So much talent. Very, very cool. All right, so we have another musical performance. And this is with the OMA 2020 Award winner for Songwriter of the Year, OMA 2021 Award winner for Single of the Year, The Mirror, and OMA's 2022 Award nominee for Album of the Year, The Mirror. Please, please, please give a big round of applause for Valdi.
Friends with benefits, yeah, that was our reality. Wanting love, it wasn't part of my anatomy. Sold him around to pin myself, and it was a tragedy. It was a tragedy. Waited too long, got us so wrong, 'cause I took you for granted. I waited too long, then he came along and changed our circumstances. I was in you, then he loved me too. But you were so gone, he stole you like a bandit. I could say you were out of line, you could say I was out of my mind. I don't know, but maybe you and I were ready to fall in love. I could say I was out of line, you could say I was taking my time. Now I know, but maybe you and I were ready mentality. With him, all you ever cared about was vanity. About was vanity. Hey. Waited too long, got it so wrong, 'cause I took you for granted. Waited too long, then he came along, changed our circumstances. I would do you if any mommy too. But you were so gone, he stole you like a bandit. I could say I was out of line, you could say I was out of my mind. I don't know, but maybe you and I were ready to fall in love. I could say I was out of line, you could say I was taking my time. Now I know, but maybe you and I were ready. I had to let you go and dance with a stranger. You had to tell me no, it's just human nature. All along my heart was hurting, but now I know that it was worth it. I had to let you go and trade 3 years for a life. 3 years for a life. Whoa. All along my heart was hurting, but now I know that it was worth it. I had to let you go and trade 3 years for a life.
That was really awesome. Good job. You rock. Ignore the women up there. Okay, so, all right, next. Talk a little bit about the OMAs now. So it's derived from the original name Oshawa Music Awards and has officially been rebranded to the OMAs, with a strong emphasis in celebrating music in Durham Region. This is part of the organization's effort and commitment in building a diverse and inclusive platform while still honoring the history of where the original project came to life, the city of Oshawa. Right, so to many artists and bands, music creators and music industry professionals in the Durham region and beyond, this is a very special occasion. We're getting to acknowledge the amazing homegrown talent and contributors from this beautiful region of Canada. The OMA 2022 Music Video of the Year presented by RBC and Single of the Year, please join me in welcoming our next award presenters. From RBC, Neil Joshi, Community Manager, Oshawa and Curtis, and Kathy Savas, Branch Manager at Oshawa.
Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Well, it's great to be here. My name is Neil Joshi. This is Kathy Savas from RBC. This is our first year being here, and let's get right into it. I feel like I want to do some punk rock song right now with this thing right here. I'm gonna probably do it that way. It's my absolute pleasure to be here tonight on behalf of RBC. At RBC, we care about investing in the places where we live and work. Our support of the arts has been a long-standing priority as we recognize the arts plays an important role in building vibrant communities and strong economies. At RBC, we offer a number of programs and initiatives to support musicians and promote music with our clients. Through the RBC Foundation, the Emerging Artist Program supports young Canadian artists as they advance on their career journey. RBCX Music's First Up program provides a platform for emerging Canadian artists to showcase their music and share their story. The RBC Music Video Project promotes the intersection of emerging Canadian recording artists and filmmakers through music video production grants. Through RBCX Music, we offer clients Concert Cash, which provides a discount on the purchase of concert tickets. These are just a few of the ways we support the arts. And that is why RBC is very, very proud to support the Oshawa Music Awards. Thank you.
The Music Video of the Year award is presented for an original music video. The recording artist or band and or the director are born and or reside in the Durham region. The video can be any genre and is released for public consumption through established video outlets. The music video is the authorized video for a recorded single or track. The nominees are The Crease Rule for Ed Was Honest, Director, Production House. Dylan Ohm and Ben Anthony Lavaz for Delinquent, directed by Dylan Ohm.
It isn't over, I'm still here. What about the children?
BUSM for Smile, directed by the North Brothers.
Like you're on TV. Smile like a sex machine.
Okay, and the winner is Delinquente. By Dylan Ohm and Ben Anthony Lavos. Congratulations.
Wow, I'm so happy I might open up a checking account with RBC. So I want to thank RBC. Yeah, absolutely. This is incredible. Thank you so much. You know, I tried to find a way to express myself artistically with the music and video. David is my right-hand man who helped with the concept of that video. And you know, for those that are watching this, keep hope alive. You know, the pandemic derailed my life, David's life, and we just found a way to make it work. So if you're watching this, please persevere. I promise the universe will put you where you need to be. Thank you so much. And Ben Anthony couldn't be here, so we have a representative on behalf of Ben who's in El Salvador.
Yeah, obviously. We are not Ben Anthony. But it did take two people to represent this incredible man. He is out of the country right now, making and solidifying connections that will further the Latin music industry and the Latin music movement that is coming out of Durham Region and Canada. Yes. Being a Latin music artist coming out of Canada has not been easy. Carlitos, he knows it's very difficult. But Ben Anthony wanted everyone here to know that this is just the beginning, and siempre para adelante. Vamos.
Congratulations. One question to my wonderful manager, Neil. We're bankers. How the heck did we end up getting here in the first place? How did we get this honor to be here in this presence of all these wonderful people and just, you know, feeling this energy?
For the love of music. For the love of music. One day I actually walked into Cops Records in South Oshawa, and I met Mr. Will McGurk. And through, I don't know, is he here? I haven't seen him tonight, but Mr. Will McGurk was absolutely fantastic. He walked me through the record store, the entire shop, where everything was located. I picked up my Gil Scott Heron records, my Jesus Lizard records, my Slint records, all kinds of different music, and always end up having a great time having great conversations about music with Mr. Will McGurk. So that's why we're here.
Well, it definitely is my honor to present the first award, the OMAs 2022 Single of the Year, and here are the nominations.
The Single of the Year award is presented to an artist or band born and or residing in the Durham region in any genre for the artistic and commercial impact of a recorded single. The single is released within the eligibility period. The nominees are Valdi, 3 Years, Casino Stereo Remix.
You had to tell me no, it's just human nature. All along my heart was hurting, but now I know that it was worth it.
Excuses, excuses. Far from perfect.
We don't mind.
Jade Kelly. Happy.
I don't think much of love, not that I get enough. Other things that make me happy.
All right, everybody, and the award goes to Happy by Jada Kelly. Congratulations. So, unfortunately, Jada is not here tonight. We are going to accept her award on her behalf. Hopefully, she'll be able to come into one of our branches in Oshawa. Maybe we'll be able to open up an account for her. So, congratulations.
And now, up for the award, Music Teacher of the Year, presented by Durham College. Please welcome the Associate Vice President, Office of Development and Alumni Affairs at Durham College. Here is Linda Flynn.
Oh, they're moving things around for me. Thank you. So I'm delighted to be here tonight on behalf of Durham College to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the OMAs, and I'm even more excited to be here in person, celebrating with all of you. Now, Durham College has been with the OMAs since the beginning. In fact, the concept was born at Durham College with students in our music business management program. Right? Jeez. Excuse me while I knock the microphone over in my excitement. At DC, our passion for supporting students, faculty, and community is at the center of everything we do. We are committed to encouraging innovation amongst our students and helping them achieve their goals. The success of the OMAs is a wonderful example of how it all comes together. As these awards have grown and evolved, I can't think of a better demonstration of our mission, which is together we are leading the way. Finally, I can't miss the opportunity to say how proud I am of the OMA team, all of whom have their roots at Durham College. Graduates Tao and Julius and Will, and of course, well-loved faculty member Tony Sutherland. And I'm gonna ad-lib here for a minute because tonight I have met the most incredible group of volunteers, all students from the Music Business Management program. You're doing a fantastic job. And I have to give a shout out to a young man that I met when I arrived tonight. His name is Carlos, and he traveled here 3 weeks ago from Colombia to study at Durham College in the Music Business Management program, all the way from Colombia to come to Durham College. So thank you for coming, and welcome to Canada, my new friend. So with that, I'll finish with congratulating you again on the 5th anniversary of the OMAs. And with that pride and excitement, I would like to present the OMAs 2022 Music Teacher of the Year, presented by Durham College. And here are the nominees.
Music teachers are fundamental to nurturing and growing musicians. The Music Teacher of the Year award, presented by Durham College, goes to a music educator for leadership in music education, including instrument, theory, business, and practicum. The nominees are Amanda DeBoer Ludwig, Emily Snellings, Durham Girls Choir.
And the award goes to Emily Snellings. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I actually was hoping I would have an opportunity to take the microphone because I wanted to say that I'm really glad that we're here to celebrate music in Durham Region, but I feel like the tagline is missing maybe one or two words. I think that in order to continue the tradition of celebrating musical excellence in Durham Region, and specifically in Oshawa, we also need to invest in it. And I know that there are a lot of people here tonight. There are professors, private school educators, there are members of city council, there are influential people who have received Lifetime Achievement Awards, there are movers and shakers, there are local composers, and there are also just members of the public who recognize the importance of music in public education. And what I want to say to you is that while this is really exceptional, and I'm so honored to be here and psyched to get this, I'm heartbroken that I get to be here for an evening, but the vast majority of my time I'm in a room where there aren't enough instruments to go around. The ones that are there are broken. And instead of students talking about how difficult the past 2 years have been because of the pandemic, they're talking about how they haven't had a music room, a music program, or a designated music teacher in 8 years. In Oshawa. And, you know, I'm so grateful that as I'm saying this, even the people who are having quiet conversations in the back stopped, because what that tells me is that we're interested in paying more than lip service to the arts in this town. We are interested in investing in the kids. Now, I know that there's probably a lot more people to reward here because we're in a room with excellent, talented movers and shakers. So what I would like to say is, if you have time or money or resources at your disposal, recognize that not everyone does, and that with that privilege comes tremendous responsibility. Please, before you applaud me, please consider checking your garages for instruments you have but do not play. Think about writing a check and sending it to any school in Oshawa, or, if you would like, if I was particularly persuasive, write a check to Woodcrest Public School, because that's where I am right now. It's 5 minutes away. We don't have enough instruments for 450 students who are desperate to play, many of whom would love the experience that we've all had. We know music is important, we know it's life-changing, but for many of them who come to school hungry, who don't have breakfast, who don't have lunch, who are refugees and newcomers to Canada, music lessons are not an option, songwriting circles are not an option, community events are not something they can be driven to. Please consider donating equipment, donating time, donating resources. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for the mic. Thank you for this recognition, but please think of the kids. Thank you.
I'm just waiting for the pre-roll here. To the lovely teacher who came up on stage, I'm sorry, was it Emily? Yes. Emily, thank you so much for saying that. I'd just like to take 1 minute and say, I was in high school 20 years ago at Austin, and that was my experience. Thanks to my family, I had music lessons, but our instruments were broken. They cut funding, and these kids need us. And I can say that if you could please give your time, money, anything, it would mean so much to them, because music has changed my life. It's been my life for 20 years. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Please think of them, and think of the teachers too. Okay. Once again, congratulations to the winners. We got to do that. Let's go there. Come on. Get up for the winners and recipients. Okay, we just have one more serious note, and then we're going to get back to partying, I promise. So, I've been asked by the OMAs to take a moment to consider the impact of COVID-19 that has had on our music community here. Our industry was the first to close and has been last to slowly open up. Many of us are still working under restrictions when it comes to international work and the current global and political climate affecting travel and funding. The OMAs would like to acknowledge the losses over the past 2 years, which includes the loss of venue, jobs, income, opportunities, and also the friends and family we have lost during this time. Our hearts go out to you, and we hope the community that has gathered here tonight, this evening, can be of some comfort and support to you. Up next, please join me in celebrating our second Lifetime Achievement and Hall of Fame inductees for the OMAs 2022. Welcome to the stage, Tito Dante, Marianne Piatri.
Lindsay, good evening and good evening to everyone. Welcome, Oshawa. It's really nice to be here. This evening is one that's very important to the entire city and the region of Durham. I'm here on behalf of a lot of people who are proud to be from Oshawa and to celebrate the talent in Oshawa that we celebrate and are touched by each day. Music is part of our lives. Whether you're a banker, you heard earlier, whether you're someone that is working to build our community through education at Durham College, whether you're a parent of one of the performers and one of the most talented people that essentially are part of our city and region. I'm proud to be here. My name is Tito Dante Marian Pietri. I'm a regional counselor, but more than anything, I'm really excited and touched by music. Our family is extremely, extremely close to a number of performers, and one of which happens to be the Durham Girls Choir, a very long-standing tradition in our community, one that I am honored to be here to support and to recognize with a Lifetime Achievement Award. But before I do so, I'd like to just turn our attention to a very special performance.
The OMA's 2022 Lifetime Achievement and Hall of Fame recipient, presented by Apex Sound and Light, is the Durham Girls Choir, celebrating their 50th anniversary.
Hi, Durham Girls Choir. So I've been a part of this group for 7 years, and honestly, I've made so many friends by being a part of the choir. I love that we get to perform together. I love that we get to see each other every week, and I'm just really proud of making the audience happy. Congratulations on this Lifetime Achievement Award and for being around for 50 years. I hope the choir keeps on singing for another 50 at least. Thank you.
Good evening, Durham Girls Choir, and congratulations on your special recognition tonight. I'm Anthony, an editor living in Durham Region, and I gotta say, from the young choristers themselves all the way through to their guardians, friends, family, and choir volunteers, you all deserve a huge pat on the back for your accomplishments over the last 50 years in our community. Here's to the next 50. Congratulations.
Hi Durham Girls Choir, this is Emma Marguch from Choirs Ontario. I just wanted to take this time to congratulate you on your Lifetime Achievement Award and your induction into the Oshawa Music Awards Hall of Fame. This is a wonderful accomplishment and a testament to your passion, your dedication, and your contributions to choral music, not only in the Durham region, but throughout Ontario. So on behalf of Choirs Ontario and the Board of Directors, congratulations again on your award, your induction into the OMA Hall of Fame, and on your 50th anniversary. Cheers.
Hey everyone, this is Jonah from Murmur Media. I'm a videographer in the Durham region. And real quick, I just wanted to congratulate all the Durham Girls Choir members for their hard work in achieving the Lifetime Achievement Award, as well as being inducted into the OMA Hall of Fame. Super cool, super awesome, and keep up the great work, guys. You guys are killing it.
Congratulations, Durham Girls Choir, in receiving the Lifetime Achievement and Music Hall of Fame Awards. I'm Lori Stapley, former manager with Durham Girls Choir, and I've been part of this great organization for 10 years. So many people join me in saying thank you. Thank you to Durham Girls Choir for delivering wonderful choral music throughout Durham region and beyond for the past 50 years. 50 years, wow, that is a huge milestone. And a big shout out and congratulations to all the nominees and inductees this evening. Congratulations to everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the award-winning Teacher of the Year 2020, Christine Dandivino and Alana Kirk.
Good evening, everyone, and it's an honor, privilege, and it's, I've been making music for 31 years. I was very young when I started, and I got paid well, so keep paying your musicians. Yeah, a lot, as much as you can, because I hear that the fees in the bars are pretty much like what they were when I was young, anyhow. The song I chose tonight is a song I sang quite a bit at the beginning of my career. It's in French. My first language is French. And I also have had a bit of a family emergency tonight, so I will try my best to sing. I am dedicating this song to the pandemic has been extremely difficult for people who suffer from addiction and mental health. And I really hope that the person who is struggling right now gets the help they need. So this song is from the rock opera Starmania that was composed in Quebec with a collaboration in France. And she's a robot. And she's a robot singer-guitar player who happens to sing in a cafe once in a while. But, she's like most of us at the beginning of our career, we do what we have to do to pay the bills. However, we are always musicians, regardless of how we pay the bills. La complète de la serveuse automate.
J'ai pas demandé à venir au monde. Je voudrais seulement qu'on me fiche la paix. J'ai pas envie de faire comme tout le monde, mais faut bien que je paye mon loyer. Je travaille à l'Underground Café. J'ai rien qu'une serveuse automate. Ça me laisse tout mon temps pour rêver. Même quand je tiens plus debout sur mes pattes, je suis toujours prête à m'envoler. Je travaille à l'Underground Café. Un jour vous verrez la serveuse automate s'en aller cultiver ses tomates au soleil. Qu'est-ce que je vais faire aujourd'hui? Qu'est-ce que je vais faire demain? C'est ce que je me dis tous les matins. Qu'est-ce que je vais faire de ma vie? Moi j'ai envie de rien. J'ai juste envie d'être bien. Je veux pas travailler juste pour travailler, pour gagner ma vie, comme on dit. Je voudrais seulement faire quelque chose que j'aime. Je sais pas ce que j'aime, c'est mon problème. De temps en temps, je gratte ma guitare. C'est tout ce que je sais faire de mes 10 doigts. J'ai jamais rêvé d'être une star, j'ai seulement envie d'être moi. Ma vie ne me ressemble pas. Je travaille à l'Underground Café. Il y a longtemps que j'ai pas vieux soleil dans mon univers souterrain. Pour moi tous les jours sont pareils. Pour moi la vie, ça sert à rien. Je suis comme un néon éteint. Je travaille à l'underground. Que faire?
Let me mark my words. It's a girls' choir that won this award.
Okay, I think the applause, another applause. This is a big achievement. This is a huge Lifetime Achievement Hall of Fame award that goes to the Durham Girls Choir and every single girl over the last 50 years that's been inspired by those who have created the atmosphere for them to achieve this. I want to thank you very much on behalf of the city. I'd like to present this award to the Durham Girls Choir and the 50 years that you've contributed to our community. Christine, congratulations.
And last year, we decided we were not girls and we were not cute girls. We were choristers. So they are choristers. Merci, Mikvech. Grazie. Dankeschön.
Oh my gosh, OMAs, thank you. I'm just going to briefly start with some numbers. 50 for 50 continuous incredible years, and that includes the 2.5 years of the pandemic when we went virtual. 300 plus songs performed, 500 plus talented, amazing young singers. And a really important number here, 6,000, over 6,000 volunteer hours selflessly given by our community. We're so proud of our history and the legacy that Elsie Dragula left behind, and we're so proud to continue to build on that. And as we continue to build and grow and create, we will also continue to share that beautiful choral music with our entire Durham community. So on behalf of our director and our pianist and our volunteers, and most importantly, our amazing singers, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
And now, presenting another OMAs 2022 Lifetime Achievement and Hall of Fame Award, presented by Apex Sound and Light. Welcome to the stage, John Driscoll.
Well, hello out there, everyone. How are you all doing? Wasn't this a fantastic show this evening? Come on, give them you can do better than that. Thank you. My name is John Driscoll, and I'm proud and honored as Wednesday's Back in the Day producer to congratulate and present them with the OMA's Lifetime Achievement and Hall of Fame Award. It doesn't feel like 50 years ago that I was here in Oshawa with my longtime friend and associate and bandmate, Mr. Billy DL, who unfortunately and sadly has passed. And at that time, we presented Mike, Paul, Randy, and John with a gold record for their recording of The Last Kiss. Now, contrary to what my friend Dave Charles says, I love the song. I think we have to take a look at the video.
Hi, I'm Barry Smith from This House of Musicians radio show. I have to commend this band for sticking to their guns and making a pact to never get a real job, but just to completely be a playing band. It goes against everything our parents ever told us, but it seemed to pay off. I once had Mike O'Neill on my radio show, and he told me a story of being on a beach in Mexico and meeting a complete stranger who told him that one of the songs they play in their band back in Canada is Last Kiss by Wednesday. I say the world is a crazy place. Congratulations to the band Wednesday on this Oshawa Music Award on September the 29th. It's well deserved.
Dan Parker here with a big congratulations for a well-deserved Lifetime Achievement Award to our hometown heroes, Wednesday. And a big congratulations to the OMAs for bestowing upon them such an honor. It was early 1970s, and it was my very, very first concert, and it was Wednesday's first concert at the old Oshawa Civic Auditorium. What a magical night. I'll never forget it. And a few of us got to hang around after the show and stood by the side of the stage, and we got to meet a couple of the boys in the band. Well, someone on the stage grabbed a couple handfuls of drumsticks and threw them out into the audience. Well, I guess that didn't go over too well with Randy. Apparently, he still had to pay for his own drumsticks back then. Anyway, I got one, and when it came around to giving them back, I had a long sleeve shirt on, and it went up my sleeve and came home with me. But I did give you back your glasses, Randy. Once again, congratulations, guys, and thank you so much for being a wonderful part of the soundtrack of our lives.
Hi, I'm Lee Eckley. A long time ago, I was up at a small ski chalet at Horseshoe Valley, north of Barrie, Ontario. And in those days, there wasn't much media penetration, so we made our own entertainment, playing cards and listening to the radio. The only signal we could pull in that night was the local station, and during our time there, someone facetiously quipped, "You know you're living large when the only station you can listen to is CKBB." Don't ask why I remember the song that was playing at that moment, probably because it was a hit at the time and I really liked it. Flash forward to 3 years, I'm sitting in the lobby awaiting a job interview at CKBB. The minute I was pointed to the program director's office, I hear that same song. It was called Fly Away by Wednesday. When I heard it, I suddenly flashed back to that night at Horseshoe Valley, and I thought, this must be a good sign. And it was, because I got the job. Anyway, decades later, I was at a memorial here in Oshawa for Garth Bourne, a local musician, when I struck up a conversation with a familiar, personable fellow named Mike. It was pretty obvious that he'd worked extensively as a musician in the past, and after a little while I asked about his background, and he said, "Oh, I used to play in a band called Wednesday." Well, did I have a story to tell him. Anyway, looking back over 45 years from the ski chalet to the job interview to Garth's memorial and tonight, Wednesday has always had a serendipitous thread in my life. So it's with great pleasure to see the OMAs honor Mike, Paul, John, Randy, Jeremy, and Wednesday with the Lifetime Achievement Award. Congratulations, guys.
Hello, Wednesday. Congratulations on your Oshawa Lifetime Achievement Award for the song Last Kiss. What an amazing story. I was the guy that brought the song to John Driscoll, and he looked at me sideways and said, "We can't record this song. It's terrible. I hated the song." Anyway, what do we know? The rest is history. It was a great hit. I was music director at 1050 Chum, and we played it to death. And it's gone on to be a worldwide hit. And it was recorded initially by Wayne Cochran, as you know, then J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers, and then Wednesday with the biggest hit. And then, of all people, Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam recorded it. So what can I tell you? A hit is a hit. And a good song, a hit like this should make you feel something. It's a creepy song, and it makes me feel that I should be in a car wreck, but I'm not. I'm here doing this video tribute, and I hope you guys have a great time, and congratulations on your success and your Hall of Fame achievement in Oshawa, of all places. Have a great time. Have a great night.
Hey everybody, my name is Brett Peacock, and I would like to congratulate the Wednesday Boys on their induction into the Oshawa Music Awards for the prestigious honor of a Lifetime Achievement. I truly feel that Wednesday is deserving of this award, as they not only promoted songwriting and live music to young people, but encouraged me personally to pursue an active role in music. Such was the band's commitment to supporting young people in their musical endeavors that I was even invited to join the band Wednesday. Again, congratulations and all the best.
The recipient for the OMAs 2022 Lifetime Achievement and Hall of Fame Award, presented by Apex Sound and Light, is Wednesday.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real pleasure to bring back to Oshawa and sing "Give It Up" for Mike O'Neill, Paul Andrew Smith, John Dufek, and Randy Begg. Let's hear it for them. Thank you so much. Come on, bros. Come on, guys.
First of all, I'd like to thank John Driscoll. He produced all of our records, 3 albums, a whole whack of singles, and this guy was awesome. I think what I'm most proud of is 10 years of road just travel. We played 1 million gigs. We were fortunate enough to have the success that we did, and boy, oh boy, what a ride.
It's just fantastic. I tell you, we started our band so many years ago here in Oshawa, and because of the support that Oshawa gave us, it allowed our music to be heard around the world, which was fantastic for us. And ultimately, it brought us here tonight. So one of the things to remember is support your local music, support your local musicians, because you guys can make it happen. You did. Thank you.
These guys are a little shorter than me, so. And I remember my parents saying, "That's all right, buddy. I can, oh yeah, don't worry about it." Yeah. Yeah, like, yeah, just a microphone. But anyway, I remember my parents saying, when you get a job, you can come back home. I said, well, it'll be a while. I'll give it 5 more years. So that's what I did. And that was history for me. So it was a good go, and I'm proud to get this. Thanks.
Always sitting down on a seat. I never had to raise these buggers up or put it down. I'd like to thank the OMAs. I'd like to thank Will McGirt. I'd like to say hi to my wife. My drum tech, Woody, he's sitting up there with my wife. And the thing that I'm most proud of, other than the fact that we're all here tonight celebrating, is the fact that this motley bunch, we're all still friends. Yeah! 50 years later. Yeah, and we're all still alive. So thank you very much. Thank you. Love it. Cheers, bud. Cheers. Take a vote.
Our congratulations to Wednesday. What a story. What a ride. Up next, our presenters will present the Music Producer of the Year, presented by 360 Insights. Please welcome to the stage Senior Director, Culture and Learning's 360 Insights is Travis Dudka.
All right. Man, tough act to follow, even though I'm just presenting. But this is kind of fulfilling a dream for me to be in a band. So I'm kind of doing that, so humor me for a moment as we get ready to present the final nominees, I think, for the evening. One thing that just stood out to me, 360 Insights, we're a tech company located in Whitby, and we're really proud, our 3rd year to sponsor this incredible event. You have Emily from Woodcrest, you have Wednesday here, and one of the things that was connected, Wednesday said, support your musicians. And they said one of the greatest things is that they're still friends after all these years. One of 360's values is be real and have fun, and that's about being your whole self and creating an environment for others to do the same. And so music creates an environment to do that. We celebrate our musicians that work full-time and then play their hearts out or sing their hearts out. But inspired by Wednesday and inspired by Emily, I wanted to contribute more to our sponsorship. And Emily, I want to talk to you after. We want to commit $500 to your school to do that tonight. So if anybody else wants to do that, I think it's a good night to get on it. And maybe the OMAs could add that to the sponsorship package. To be a sponsor, you've got to give to the event and find a local school to sponsor. I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to do. So, and I'm supposed to do something with this. All right. So, yes, what are we doing? The nominees. There's 3 nominees, and they're going to come up on the screen behind me.
The Producer of the Year Award, sponsored by 360 Insights, is presented to an individual or team of co-producers involved in the development, the recording, and mixing of a recorded music project. The recorded music project can be a single, EP, or album that is released commercially within the eligibility period, and the individual or co-producers are credited as producers. The nominees are D Symphony,
It isn't over, I'm still here. What about the children? I'm getting older, hopes and dreams.
Gal George Gjurin,
Tiny specks of rain, like bubbles in fat champagne.
Lindsay Schoolcraft,
Told me I'll never do any better. If I left, I'd lose it.
I do think we should do a drum roll, though, for the last one. So if everyone can give me a drum roll, please. All right, here we go. And the winner of the Producer of the Year is Die Symphony. All right.
Thank you so much, you guys. I'll be very short. I just want to say, you know, to all the artists and producers and everybody's in the creative field, we work on our music. It could take days, weeks, years to come up with the music that we create. We live our lives trying to get inspiration, and then we translate that into our music. So I just want to say thank you to those people who listen to our music for that 2 or 3 minutes that you hear that song. Could have took that artist or producer weeks, years, months to achieve it. So thank you guys so much. Every like, every share, every subscribe really does a lot to us as artists. So we really appreciate you guys giving us your ear today. So thank you guys so much. And thank you to Oshawa. Thank you to OMAs. Have a great night. Enjoy.
And now, our final award of the evening, Artist or Band of the Year, presented by Avanti Trattoria. Great food earlier and love this restaurant. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Will McGurk to present the award.
That's it? That's all I get? That's all I get? Come on. That's it. That's all I get. My God almighty. 30 years, that's all I get. I got a minute. They said I got a minute. I got a minute. Okay. OMAs, you all sponsors, because I'm sponsorship manager, thank you all for coming out. It's been an incredible night. Our first in person. We're all here together, which is fabulous and amazing when you think about it, and such an amazing, diverse crowd of talent and tech and, you know, politicians, and like everybody coming out and support. It's sweet. I'm super overwhelmed by it. I really am. Your support is incredible. You know, I mean, Wednesday, come on, and Hill, and it's mad. However, I'll take the minute, and I'll echo Emily, right? Because I think it's important that we recognize that we're all doing our bit, you know what I mean? We're all doing our bit, and we can do better. We can always do better. A lot of people in this room, we can do better. It's okay, but you guys are doing like amazing work so far, so thank you all much. However, like, we're all here to honor music and music makers, music industry, people who do this sort of stuff, and however, I would be amiss, and you know, the worst thing is, you know, you let me at the bar too early, it can happen. So we've gone through a lot. This is our first in-person for the OMAs, you know what I mean? So we've been working pretty fucking hard, pardon my language. But however, we do have to recognize, I think, and I just want to take a second just to recognize that we have suffered in the music community some losses. So I think you can itemize it all out, and the music community is not just musicians, it's bartenders and chefs, right? And sound guys and doormen and audience members who we've lost a lot. So anyway, don't put me in front of a bar. Anyway, so take a moment to just take where you are, what we're doing tonight, how important it is, how amazing it is, and how we recognize the privilege that we have of being here at the moment. So, and that doesn't include, you know, like it's people, but it's infrastructure. You know, they give you a minute, but it's a long minute in Ireland. You know, even places like the Second Wedge, like we've lost like venues, you know, so these values that we all share, that's the part for me that will get me up in the morning. That will get me doing the weekly meetings with the OMAs every week when I don't want to necessarily, because it's important work, and I think what you guys are doing is important work because music matters. I 100% just think that the music is the fuel. It's as simple as that, right? And it crosses all sectors, as we see in our sponsors, right? We've got tech sector, and we got finance sector, and we've got you got education sector. So so anyway, you should all give yourself a round of applause before I actually switch back to the script here. But thank you, each and every one of you, for being here tonight. Anyway, so they tell me it's my honor to present this final award, which is the OMAs 2022 Artist or Band of the Year, presented by Avanti Trattoria, who once again stepped up. So big it up for Dom and his crew for the food earlier. A bit last minute, a little bit punk rock, but we got it done. And again, because of the state I may be in, I would like to thank New Ritual, Second Wedge, and Town Brewery. So anyway, here's our nominees.
The Best Artist or Band of the Year award is presented to an artist or band born and or residing in the Durham region in any genre that has achieved substantial recognition and success within the eligibility period. The artist or band has positively contributed to the Durham region's music community at large and helped to put the Durham region on the map. The nominees are Excuses.
Even now we're still so far from perfect. We don't mind.
Jade Kelly.
Show me a driveway on a quiet street. Give me the seasons.
Lindsay Schoolcraft.
Our hopes and dreams have turned to a lure. The earth stands still and
You're so much better at hosting. How did you do this stuff? Huh? You were so much better last year. I don't even know why they asked me, which is a bit mad. It's nice to see all my friends nominated there. Excuses just played here at the Biltmore, and shout out to the Biltmore crew tonight for this, because this is amazing too. So give it up for those cats. And Excuses played here. They got a new record out. Really good stuff. That crew has been around for a good few years. They're doing some really good work. My pal Jada Kelly nominated too, which is pretty awesome. Jada, just so you know, is going to be playing here on Sunday. This place is busy. And so Jada will be here. I'm sure she'll be happy to have got the previous award. And obviously Lindsay Schoolcraft, who I've known for a while, and she's just absolutely stunning. She's great. She's fabulous. So anyway, applaud for all three while I figure this stuff out, right? Okay, all right. Artist or Band of the Year 2022, presented by Avanti, and the award goes to Lindsay Schoolcraft.
Not tall enough for this world. Thank you, Kristen. I love you. Okay, so I was not expecting this. Thank you so much. I prepared this because if I ad-lib, I start saying really dumb things. So here we go. If I can see it, wow, holy. Are my eyes going already? I just want to say first and foremost that if you even got nominated tonight, you're already a winner for being recognized. There's so much talent here in the Durham region. Seriously, it blows my mind. And the community, I know it's waxed and waned and wavered in and out, but everyone here is so incredibly lovely and supportive, and I just love going out on a Friday or Saturday to the events and the venues and seeing everyone. Will and I go way back, Will wasn't crazy about my first band, and I don't blame him. We weren't that good. But Will, sorry to bring it up. But Will, you've always been there. You're so lovely, and I feel like you are just, a cornerstone to our community. Thank you for everything you do. Really appreciate you. Okay, so a lot has happened since last year. Thank you again for this awards 2 years in a row. That's crazy. So I want to say first and foremost, thank you to everyone who voted, which includes my fans and especially my Patreon community. They were like on it every day, and I was like, guys, calm down. Cheers. To my family who's here tonight, you guys rock. Thank you so much. To my friends, especially Scott and Kristen, you both took time out of your busy schedules to be here. Thank you so much. I love you both very much. To my manager, Corey Westbrook, and Chris Cirilli, and the entire Motionless in White camp. They currently have a song charting all over Billboard. They let me be part of the new album. I am so incredibly grateful for them. They're such wonderful people. Thank you for caring about me, remembering me, recognizing me, and letting me be on your album. Unbelievable. Also want to thank Cancer Bats, my band Antiqua, who are still putting up with me 1 year later. Gaia Guarda, Sarah Jezebel Deva, Tyler Williams, who will be home very soon. Can't wait to see him again. I want to thank and shout out Troy Williams, who's on stage tonight. Thank you for taking me on and co-producing with me. Very, very cool. Catherine Knowles, Chris Bourgeois, and Phantasma Photography, Chris Cowett, and Curtis Dewar of C Squared Music, Bradley Zorgdrager, and of Sulfur. Anyone else, I'm so sorry if I forgot you, but thank you to my team. You make everything possible. And I just want to say one more thing for the producer nomination. That was unbelievable. I didn't know I was a producer until this year. I called my manager and I'm like, why am I so tired all the time? And she's like, you don't know. So I just want to recognize Hill. Thank you. You ran so we could walk. When you won, I just lost my shit and had a dance party at home. I was so incredibly over the moon. Seriously, amazing. And I just want to take for a moment in production, engineering, live sound. We are only 3% of the music industry, which is really tiny. And I just want to say to any woman out there who's thinking of taking up a career in these fields, we need you. We need you so badly. I have faced so many challenges along the way. Again, I didn't even know I was a music producer until this year. And there's something special. I swear I can talk. I swear I can do English. There's something special about the feminine in recording and live music. We bring something so incredibly different to the table, and I encourage more of you to follow your dreams. It was the best decision. Thank you. It was honestly the best decision I've ever made with my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So you have my support. You can hit me up on socials, and I will guide you through it, I promise. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you to the OMAs. Thank you to everyone tonight. Thank you for everything. Cheers. Thank you.
Give it up for Lindsay one more time. I also want you to give a huge round of applause to Lindsay for being an amazing host this evening. What do you think? Congratulations to everyone. And now, for the closing performance of the night, you have to stay here for this. Please welcome three wins this evening. Nominee, 3 different categories, 3 wins in those categories. Dylan Ohm.
I don't know, darling, you do to me. It's fooling me intoxicated, drinking that love potion, baby. I tried to leave, but you still did, so I let it be. I just let it be. What you want from me is what she said to me. I just let it be. La la la, let it be. We should let it be. What you want, what you want. You can take my money, take my soul. Bruise my body, I won't show. Whisper to me so I know you belong to me. You can break my heart 1,000,000 times. Pull the corner, watch me die. Punish me for all my crimes, but you belong to me forever, forever, ever, forever. Forever, ever, forever, forever, ever. But you belong to me. Forever, forever, ever. Forever, forever, ever. Forever, forever, ever. But you belong to me. Say you're dying. Stop your lying. I want to take a moment to get some audience participation. Indulge me if you will. You belong to me. You belong to me. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Oh no, no. Yeah, 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 yeah. You belong to me. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. You're gonna do it one more time, David. This is a beautiful crowd. Come on now. You belong to me. Yeah, that feels good. Folks, once again, thank you so much. My name is DeLon Ohm. Thank you, OMA committee. Thank you, volunteers, everyone. Thank you so much.
Get it up for Dylan Ohm. It's great. Okay, so I know you guys want to party, and it's past a lot of years' bedtimes. So this is the closing statement, and then you can do whatever you want. But you gotta wait, Like, we worked really hard on this, so. Okay, here we go. Thank you to all the presenters this evening, and congratulations to all the recipients, nominees, and winners. What a wonderful show it has been. Thank you to every artist and musician who applied for the OMAs 2022 this year and keeps creating great music from our region and beyond. Thank you again to every presenter, sponsor, and partner who nurtures and elevates this creative community in Durham Region. A big shout out to Durham Region Economic Development and Tourism, Spark Center, RBC, 360 Insights, Trent University, Durham GTA, Durham College, Ontario Tech University, Apex, Avanti, SoCan Foundation, Chalet Studios, Long and McQuaid, Holiday Inn, Oshawa, Second Wedge Brewery, New Rituals Brewery, and Town Brewery. Thank you, guys. We want to also thank one more, a big thank you to the Biltmore Theatre and the venue crew. Thank you for hosting the OMAs Awards Show tonight and this year. And lastly, the production staff and volunteers who helped make this award show successful and safe. You guys have been wonderful. Great job. Thank you for everything. This chapter of the OMAs is about progression, about friendship and community, and above all, about love, diversity, and inclusion. We have seen artists and bands who started as our OMA nominees become touring artists, sign record deals, acquire management agents, and even go on to collaborate with bigger artists and get their music placed in media. As songwriters and musicians continue to submit material to the OMAs every single year, just want to say we see your growth and we're so proud of you. And for those of you right now clapping, to our audience, thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for being here. And we're going to keep doing what we do because of your support. We wish you a wonderful rest of your evening and look forward to being with you in 2023. And this ends the award show for the OMAs 2022. Enjoy the OMAs after party right here at the Biltmore with DJ performance by DJ Dom. Thank you. Have a great night.